everybody. Welcome to Beer with the Boss. Yes, that podcast, that one where a guy and his boss have a beer together and talk about technology. And we can talk about many other things as well. Let us know in the comments what you want us to talk about. And please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, to like this episode, and to activate the notifications so you get notified every time a new Beer with the Boss episode goes live. I'm Rodrigo Matos. I work at Webeta, and today with me again is my boss, Joel Zamboni. Hey, Joel, how are you doing?
Hey, Rodrigo. Thank you for the introduction. Hey, guys, welcome. Welcome back. You're listening for more than one time. Thank you for coming back. And if you're the first time to join, hope you like. Yeah, I'm doing fine. How about you? What are you drinking today?
Not bad. Yeah, I'm drinking a Spanish beer called Estrella Galicia. It's I just researched because I didn't know. It's from La Coruña, was the original place, but it's being bottled in Brazil now as well, and many countries in Asia, in Europe. Europe, it was already, right? In Spain, but in other countries around the world. Yeah, it's a lager, normal beer, pretty good, 4.7. So yeah, not that strong. How about you? What are you drinking today?
Yeah, I think we went with the Spanish word today because I'm drinking a Modelo, which is a Mexican beer. It's also bottled like in Mexico, not here, but I think both beers are the same the same owner, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah. These guys bought every beer in the world. We have to find.
Yeah.
Find. Yeah, but yeah, we can. That's good, man. That's good. It's a good beer. It's also a Pilsner. Very, very flavorless, but it's good.
That's good. Very flavorless. All right. I wasn't expecting that.
You can expect too much flavor from a Pilsner, right?
It's good for a day like today, right?
Exactly.
Day.
Yeah. You can enjoy it, and doesn't like if you have a beer with too much flavor, you have to enjoy the beer and then you stop talking.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I want to bring to the table a subject today that again we're very fond of at Webeta, which is Agile. But I also wanted to ask you one question before we start to talk specifically about Agile. It is the difference, because I've been seeing people asking this question in many places, if there is a difference between DevOps and Agile. Could you please let us know what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that would be my opinion. I think there's people fighting between both sides of the wall, saying like which one created one. So I think in a way DevOps is a response from the technology group to the Agile, right? From the infrastructure teams to the Agile. In a way, you can say that, but you can also say that developers got tired of having to deal with the infrastructure manually, and then they start to write code to create infrastructure. There's many sources. The point is that DevOps and Agile are both kind of lean approach to things, where good enough is good. Is awesome, right? You have this. You work until you get this point. In our case, in DevOps, you do the Agile, you do the DevOps thing until you get as automated as possible as you can, right? And unless you need something like recently, we're exploring a new way to show to our clients and to our teams how automation is important by just drawing the flows of the information, like the flow of code, using what we are calling red-green charts, which are like basically you have an action. The next step, is it manual or automatic? You paint the line as green if it's automatic and red if it's manual. So you can clearly see where you have opportunities to do some automation, right? And you can select an example. You wouldn't do you can do, but like you automatically deploy on develop, but you'd have someone approving a production or a staging deployment. So you have those control places when needed. So, but this is also kind of where you have some would say that the agile model where you have those ceremonies, right? Those ceremonies are kind of okay. Those approvals, the demo, or those things are kind of those red ways that we have to stop somewhere in and show something to someone, not just do. I don't know if I've answered the question, but
Yeah, I think
it's
so.
a complicated one. It's like they are hand in hand. Like I don't think you can have agile as grown like as they are growing without DevOps today, and vice versa. You cannot have DevOps without agile.
Yeah, but if I understood, like DevOps can work to boost
Yeah,
your agile approach, right? And I guess that's why some people call DevOps extreme agile. What do you think of that? Do you agree with that, or do you think it's a little bit too much?
no, it is kind of because you have this idea, an example on the cloud native that we talked a while ago. We have this expectation that your infrastructure is immutable. What does that mean, right? Means that you cannot change, you recreate, basically. So, in a way, you rebuild your platform every time that you have a change in the infrastructure. It's kind of crazy if you think about, but it's the best way to test the whole thing, right? You are ensure that you have a way to rebuild your infrastructure from scratch most of the time without having to rely on someone forgetting something or doing something manually and not to be able to reestablish your infrastructure. With that, you can definitely think that agile DevOps is extreme agile because we are like, and each sprint we could redeploy or recreate the whole thing, right? So, which is, I heard about those companies trying to apply Scrum and the agile development to building cars. So every 2 weeks, they will have a new car, completely new, created from scratch. I was like, okay, that's nuts, right? If you think about, but
Like a
yeah,
brand, like a new car, you mean?
a
Not the
new
same
car,
car
not
replicated, but a new
no,
model.
a new model, like with all the components. Of course, they had the components, but like instead of adjusting the model of the car to like next sprint, like let's say they change something and then they're okay. I have to do this different. Instead of they go in adjust the car that they had, they end up and rebuild the new car. You think it's crazy, right? But like, I think Tesla those days, in order they have like more than one car per minute or one car every 2-3 minutes or something like that that leaves the factory. It's not a bad thing if you try to do this every 2 weeks because you end up finding bottlenecks in your production model even before you really start the production line. So you're building a car that is easy to be constructed, like it's easy to build, right? You every 2 weeks you build a car again, even though you have some problems with it, but you're learning how to build faster and faster and faster. Maybe you until you get the point to 3 minutes to build a car. So, which is kind
Crazy.
of the idea of DevOps. You build the environment so many times that you get good at that. You end up being good. So,
That's
yeah,
great. That's
yeah.
awesome, man. Well, I've seen also a lot of people and companies asking these things online. And even though Agile is there for a while now, and DevOps as well, people still have. I mean, it's there for most of us, but there are many companies and many professionals who don't really understand it yet and want to learn more about it. What would you recommend as a channel or an approach someone could have to learn more about Agile in general and more specifically about DevOps?
I think there is a book called the Phoenix Project.
Good one. My boss gave me that book.
Yeah, I know. So it's a very good approach because you kind of understand what's going on, why people came out with this idea of DevOps, right? It's not they're like they just documented the start, like they have the Phoenix book. I think there's a new book coming out also. There is a DevOps handbook or something, or yellow book or something, dark yellow. That's a good one. To understand about that may be the question. To understand a little bit about why DevOps came out, it might be a good idea to read the red book from Shetland about Scrum, because you understand how complicated things are in development without this mindset of speed or agility. So you understand why we do things like in a way that no, our infrastructure is not written in stone. We don't have a server in the rack that will be there forever, that you want it to be stable. Oh, last week we were talking about the difference between pet servers and cattle servers. Pet versus cattle. One good idea to learn about DevOps is this. Normally in the past, you used to call your servers by name. You name about stars or something. Like I used to do this in my data center. I have my servers were like stars in one company that I worked, or another one was something different. And when you are in DevOps, it's a cattle. It's like a bunch of cows. Like you don't care about the individuals anymore. So it is a difference. Like start to change your mindset instead of having think about your servers, your infrastructure, as something that is. No, you have to build the best server to be strong and never crash. No, it will crash. Live with that. And now we build, like an example, our clusters that we try to save money with. That we use like those instances from AWS and Google that are the preemptive instance on Google or Spot instance on Amazon, that they will crash at least once in every 24 hours. So we literally don't care. And we save like 80% less the cost of each instance like that. So the basic principle that the Amazon has, okay, you're using a machine that I can take from you. I'll give you another one, but because that server, someone is craving to use an instance that is the old model, and just think about that. Just because we don't care about our instance, we're able to save 80% on our cost. It is a good thing. Like you have to learn this thing in DevOps on not being so. You have to protect your code in a way, not your servers anymore.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we could also leave maybe in the comments, down in the comments in the description of this episode, a couple of links for people to learn more about DevOps as well.
I actually have a list of videos in YouTube.
Awesome.
That I have like an example. There are two videos that I think is very interesting there. That one is I think it's 2009, the Flickr presentation. YouTube,
Wow.
Yahoo Flickr.
Yeah.
Where they come up with the term, where they first present DevOps.
Wow, that will.
Yeah, and how they come up with solving problems in a way. And then I think a couple years later, Google came out with a presentation, DevOps since 2004. So,
Okay.
and in that list too. So it is interesting to see that.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm sure people are gonna love it. Thank you, Joel. Thank you. That's awesome. As always, so good to hear from you. Your thoughts are on these topics.
Thank you we should invite more people also here.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try.
I was going to say, for you guys listening to us, let us know who do you want us to invite, who do you want to see here with us, or to listen to here with us, drinking a beer, talking about technology. If you don't drink beer as well, it's not a problem. You can have like an iced tea or anything. Doesn't need to be alcohol. I'm not going to enforce people to drink alcohol.
Yeah.
So,
but we will drink.
We will, definitely, yeah.
Until the doctor says no.
Yeah, doctor already told me to cut down a little bit. So yeah. Okay, Joe, thank you so much, man. I hope to see you again next week. I mean, I know I will see you again here next week. Maybe we're gonna have somebody with us here as well, or not. We don't know. Yeah. But and thank you everybody as well for listening to us. We'll be back next week with a different topic, 2 different beers for you as well. And let us know in the comments as well. What's your favorite beer? What beers do you want us to drink? Beers from your country, from your region. We're down for it. Just let us know. And yeah, thank you for listening and see you next week. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Rodrigo. Thank you all. See you next week.
See you next week. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.